The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
And good morning here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us. I am Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. Begin this morning with more help for those in Bakersfield struggling to pay their rent. The City Council last night approved the use of millions of dollars in rental assistance from the federal government. In all, $22.6 million is available to help renters in Bakersfield. This comes as the state's eviction moratorium is set to expire in 2 weeks. The funds will be administered through the Kern County Housing Authority. Renters can apply online by going to rup.kernha.org. The program runs through December 18th.
This morning, 200 Greenville residents are suing PG&E, alleging the utility is responsible for the destruction of hundreds of homes and businesses from the Dixie Fire. The two lawsuits allege the Dixie Fire, burning north of Paradise, was sparked on July 13th after several blown fuses and PG&E equipment malfunctioned. The lawsuit states the company failed to maintain the vegetation around its power lines. One man says the fire destroyed his family business of 40 years.
One day you think that the fire's not going to be coming into town, and then the next day the town is all gone, and there's so many stories out there, so many folks that have lost everything.
Although no formal findings have been reached, PG&E has acknowledged to California power regulators that a tree leaning into one of its power lines may have started the Dixie Fire, which has scorched nearly 1 million acres to become the second largest in state history.
Meantime, the K&P Complex Fire in Tulare County, which is comprised of the Paradise Fire and Colony Fire, continues to burn out of control. The Paradise Fire prompted the Tulare County Sheriff to issue a mandatory evacuation order for part of the community of Three Rivers. Sequoia National Park is closed to the public, and employees that live inside the park have been evacuated. Smoke is choking the Three Rivers area, with particulate matter in the hazardous range. The K&P Complex Fire was sparked by lightning September 9th and has burned close to 9,000 acres with no containment.
Turning now to Capitol Hill, where the director of the FBI is promising sweeping changes at the agency following emotional Senate testimony from some of the nation's top gymnasts. Those athletes blasted the agency and adults who failed to stop a Team USA doctor from molesting women in his care. NBC's Chris Pallone has the story.
I also want to express my gratitude.
4 of the nation's most decorated gymnasts blasted failures by adults at the FBI and USA Gymnastics, who they say ignored their claims of sexual abuse by team doctor Larry Nassar for more than a year.
It was like serving innocent children up to a pedophile on a silver platter.
Nassar is now serving up to 175 years in prison, but a Justice Department report estimates he abused at least 70 gymnasts after the FBI was first notified. Olympic champion Michaela Maroney spoke to an FBI agent about Nassar in 2015.
I began crying at the memory over the phone, and there was just dead silence. I was so shocked at the agent's silence and disregard for my trauma. After that minute of silence, he asked, "Is that all?"
I'm deeply and profoundly sorry.
FBI Director Christopher Wray, who did not lead the agency at the time, said 2 agents who lied about their actions are no longer with the Bureau. One was fired, the other retired.
The kinds of fundamental errors that were made in this case in 2015 and 16 should never have happened, period. And as long as I'm FBI Director, I'm committed to doing everything in my power to make sure they never happen again.
Not soon enough for the more than 250 women who say Nassar abused them.
I don't want another young gymnast, Olympic athlete, or any individual to experience the horror that I and hundreds of others have endured before, during, and continuing to this day in the wake of the Larry Nassar abuse.
The gymnasts are calling for a full independent investigation of all the agencies and people who knew about the accusations against Nassar and apparently did nothing. So far, the Department of Justice has not pursued charges against the 2 former FBI agents. The DOJ was invited to participate in yesterday's hearing, but declined. In Washington, Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Also from the Capitol this morning, lawmakers have introduced a bipartisan bill meant to protect thousands of documented dreamers. U.S. Senators Alex Padilla and Rand Paul yesterday introduced the America's Children Act, which seeks to provide the children of long-term visa holders a pathway to citizenship. Over 200,000 children and young adults are living in the U.S. as dependents of long-term non-immigrant visa holders. These documented dreamers grow up in the U.S., but their dependent visas expire at age 21, forcing many of them to self-deport to countries they might not even remember.
In education news this morning, Bakersfield Christian High School announced that one of its students is now a semifinalist in the 67th Annual National Merit Scholarship Program. High school senior Tom Pickett is one of 16,000 semifinalists in the program, earning that recognition for high test scores and work in various extracurricular activities like robotics, golf, and the school's honors program. Pickett now has an opportunity to win one of 7,500 scholarships.
5:07 is your time now. The One Book, One Bakersfield, One Kern project kicked off yesterday with a virtual event promoting a culture of reading and discussion in diverse communities across the county. The project invites everyone to gather and consider the themes of A Dream Called Home by Reina Grande, which explores immigration and assimilation. Anyone from Kern County is invited to participate. For more information, visit our website, kget.com.
Looking ahead to this weekend, the Clear the Shelters event is almost here with free pet adoptions on offer. The event begins Saturday morning at 8 o'clock at Bakersfield Animal Care Center and continues until all pets are adopted. Adoptions are first come, first serve, so make sure to get there early. All fees are waived. Masks are required regardless of vaccination status. If you would like to fill out an application ahead of time, just go to our website, kget.com, and click on the Clear the Shelters banner.
We're officially 1 week away from the Kern County Fair, and things will be a little bit different because of COVID-19. Fairgoers will see a COVID warning added to all tickets. There will also be fewer rides to help meet social distancing guidelines. The fair will have signs posted reminding people to protect themselves by wearing masks and getting vaccinated against COVID-19. Masks will not be enforced for indoor events, but they are encouraged. The fair is September 22nd through October 3rd at the fairgrounds, and you can expect to see TV 17 there to kick off the festivities.
Yeah, we're looking
and
forward to it. And maybe I was going to say maybe that guy. Yeah, we are really excited. Of course, the fair hasn't, wasn't here last year, and so it's going to be, which is hard to believe.
It's been 2 years.
And it's been 2 years, which is really hard to believe. But we are very excited. So 17 News at 5 will be out there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 17 News at Sunrise will be out there Friday morning, getting ready for the weekend, the first weekend of the fair, which of course is always an exciting time. So we're going to be talking about the rides, the food, of course the food.
Of course the food.
And then we're also just going to be talking about the general changes that you're going to see if you go to the fair this year. A lot of fun.
Can't wait.
Well, today, veterans aboard the first honor flight since the pandemic began will return home to Bakersfield. 180 veterans boarded Flight 42 at Meadowsfield Airport on Tuesday morning for the first honor flight since March 2020. The group will be welcome home tonight at North Heights Football Stadium. The flight is set to return home at about 7 p.m. Organizers say the group will hopefully arrive at North High by 8. Honor Flight is urging the community to bring your kids, grandkids, your neighbors' kids, anyone, and banners, posters, and anything that you think, maybe an American flag, just to be there and welcome home the group of beloved heroes.
I love it.
Recapping our top stories on this Thursday morning, the City Council last night approved the use of millions of dollars in rental assistance from the federal government. In all, $22.6 million is available to help renters here in Bakersfield. The funds will be administered through the Kern County Housing Authority. Greenville residents are suing PG&E, alleging the utility is responsible for the destruction of homes and businesses from the Dixie Fire. The lawsuit states the company failed to maintain the vegetation around its power lines. Although no formal findings have been reached, PG&E has acknowledged one of its power lines may have started the Dixie Fire. Today, veterans aboard the first honor flight since the beginning of the pandemic will return home to Bakersfield. The group will be welcomed home tonight at North Heights Football Stadium around 8 o'clock. Honor Flight is urging the community to bring banners and posters to welcome home the group of beloved heroes.
Now to the coronavirus in Kern, and a grim milestone this morning. More people have died from COVID-19 this year than in 2020. That's according to public health data collected by 17 News. At least 757 people have died from COVID-19 this year, compared to 753 deaths last year. And we're still confirming deaths that happened back in August. It takes the public health department weeks, sometimes longer, to release death data. That means the actual death toll is higher and will take time for us to learn the true impact of this third surge. Meantime, Kern Public Health reported 675 new cases yesterday, along with 5 deaths. More than 1,500 people in Kern have died from the virus since the beginning of the pandemic. By our count, at least 141 people have died since vaccines became available to everyone. Public Health says nearly 99% of people hospitalized with COVID in Kern are unvaccinated.
This morning, we're sharing a love story that goes back years. 2 high school sweethearts starting a family. This next chapter was supposed to be the most exciting, and it started out that way. Then an unexpected and tragic plot twist forever changed this story. But it isn't the end.
This was an exciting year for Anthony Reed and his longtime girlfriend, Mackenzie Odell. They were starting a family.
Oh, he's a really good baby. We named him Christian Anthony Reed after Anthony, obviously his dad.
Anthony and Mackenzie met at North High School. They were just friends.
He was always afraid to talk to me.
But one day, after they both graduated, Anthony asked Mackenzie out. She said yes.
At first, I just thought to myself, like, wow, like, this kid is, like, really cute. Like, his smile is just super infectious. Like, everyone always says that. His smile is just so captivating. And so that's what, like, got me in high school.
Their first date was to the movies. They were going to see Ted, but they got carried away in conversation.
And we missed our movie and almost missed it for the second showing.
It only took one date for Mackenzie to realize she wanted to spend the rest of her life with Anthony. Anthony felt the same way.
This isn't what people our age are doing. They're going out and partying and doing all these other things, and we just wanted to be with each other, and we knew that we were it for each other. He had to make sure I had everything first, a car, a house, just everything.
He tried everything he could to support Mackenzie while she studied psychology at CSUB. In 2018, Anthony became a state corrections officer, a steady job and a good foundation for their future.
We both grew up without our dad, so single mom homes, and so he just wanted to make sure that we could do everything for our future kids.
Anthony loved Christmas a lot.
He will scratch at the corners of presents to see what it is, or shake them. Loves it. That's what he does.
Last Christmas, Mackenzie had a surprise for Anthony, possibly the best gift someone could receive.
I decided, well, when I found out I was pregnant, I would wrap the pregnancy test. And he just instantly started crying. He was just so excited from the moment he found out.
2021, the year their family could finally begin. The couple was excited to start a new chapter. Anxious to become a father, Anthony was ready to meet his son. But he tested positive for coronavirus. So did Mackenzie. In late July, Mackenzie gave birth. Because he was infected with coronavirus, Anthony was not allowed in the hospital. The birth captured on FaceTime, allowing Anthony to see his son Christian for the first time. As Mackenzie and the baby got ready to go home, Anthony's condition worsened. He went to the hospital so sick he had to be admitted and fought hard to get better. He wanted to recover so he could finally meet his son.
He would just text me and say, I can't talk, but can I please just look at you guys?
Early on August 20th, Anthony became very ill. The nurses, doing everything they could, picked up his cell phone to FaceTime Mackenzie and Christian.
He wanted to see Christian and I before they sedated him and put him on the ventilator, and he just waved at me and gave me a thumbs up. Just trying to be so brave, you know?
The nurses said Anthony wouldn't make it through the night. Mackenzie, as a faithful partner, watched nurses shut down the machines that kept Anthony alive.
I just wanted to be able to hold his hand and let him know it was okay. And that's what I was telling him the whole time, that it was okay, and I understood that, he fought for a long time and he was tired, and that I was proud of him, and that Christian and I would be okay. I didn't want him to keep suffering either. I didn't want him to keep hurting.
Unable to be there in person, Mackenzie watched Anthony, her best friend, take his last breath on FaceTime. He was just 26 years old. Anthony passed exactly 3 weeks after Christian was born. He never met his son in person.
He won't be there for all of his first, crawling and walking and his first birthday. I think that's what's going to hurt me the most.
Exciting firsts turned into sorrow. And although Anthony is gone, Mackenzie says the love story continues as she cares for their newborn son.
As hard as it is to have him and not have Anthony here, like, it would be so much harder for him to be gone and not have a piece of him still. And so it absolutely brings me some peace, and just knowing that, like, his love is still here.
And if you remember, I mentioned earlier that Anthony loved Christmas, and this year he had a lot planned. His mom says he was waiting until December to propose to Mackenzie, and he was looking forward to buying presents for his son's first Christmas. Now, both of those moments have been stolen from him and his family. But Mackenzie says she will continue to celebrate the holidays with Christian, since it was one of Anthony's favorite things.
Yeah, beautiful. Your time now is 5:45. Hoffman Hospice is asking the community to lace up running shoes for the 5th annual Run to Remember. Organizers say the run's a way to pay tribute to someone special in your life and share old memories while making new ones. Registration's $40 per person and includes food, swag bags, and custom awards for each age division. Participants can choose between a 5K, 10K, or 1-mile walk. It's happening this Saturday at Buena Vista Road. Check-ins are happening 7 to 7:30 with the race beginning at 8 a.m. For more information, just go to kget.com.
Welcome back. Your time now is 5:48, and a man is in the hospital this morning after he was hit by a train in East Bakersfield. It happened around 5:45 yesterday evening at Baker and Sumner Streets. According to police, the man was walking southbound on Baker, and when he tried to cross the train tracks, he was hit. The man was taken to the hospital and at last check was in critical condition.
Now to a tragic crash involving 3 young children hospitalized this morning along with their mother after they were all ejected from a car. None of them believed to have been wearing any safety restraints at the time. It happened just after noon yesterday on southbound Highway 99 near Kimberlina Road. The California Highway Patrol says a tire separation caused an SUV to leave the road and flip over, ejecting all of the occupants, 3 kids between 2 and 4 years old, and their mother. CHP stresses the importance of securing your children when they're in any vehicle.
The children are 4 years old and under. They should be in car seats. Some kind of a child restraint system. It should be properly installed in the vehicle. That would have saved them tremendously. You can't stress it enough. Your kids are the most important cargo in that vehicle, and so they're very precious to us. We need to take care of them while we're transporting them.
One child with what officers described as moderate injuries was airlifted to Kern Medical. The mother and her other 2 children were taken by ambulance.
A homicide investigation is underway in Lamont after a man was found dead with signs of trauma to his body. According to the sheriff's office, deputies were called to Habecker Road near Panama Road just after 4:30 yesterday morning for reports of a person down. Homicide detectives were called to the scene to investigate, but officials have not provided more details as of news time. If you know anything, you're asked to call the sheriff's office at 861-3110.
A bank robbery that led to a high-speed chase on Highway 99 yesterday ended in a rollover crash. The Bakersfield Police Department says a person robbed the Wells Fargo on California Avenue just after 10:30 yesterday morning. The robber took off in a car and police followed, traveling northbound on Highway 99 before the robber crashed north of Bakersfield. The driver was arrested. We're still waiting for more details from police.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.